Okay, this is the Dome Cathedral. Look at the floor. They have another one of those really big, cool stone floors, big pieces of rock. Looks like a sepulcher. Some of those pieces are broken. The faces are broken off of them. See these, look at these pillars. Oh, here's another sepulcher. See the body in there?
I can just look at the video and see short.
Look at this piece on the floor. It's amazing. Are you do you work here?
Well, I'm a volunteer here
Okay.
who knows a bit about this church.
Oh, you seem like you do. So this is the second church we've seen. We saw one in Amsterdam that had the same kind of floor. Do these, I mean, obviously they're ornate, but are they like marking, maybe it sounds weird, but I know in some churches they've buried some of like the saints and stuff, some of the clergy in years past. Is that what these mark? They're marking
Sure.
graves, tombs?
Yes.
They
yes,
are?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah, this, I can look it up, but then I have to take a book because we have a book with all the graves are written about. Huh? And I don't know this one by heart. I'm not so good in these graves. But most of the graves in this church, because this, where are you from?
United States.
United States, okay. This church was not a common church for the parishioners. It was a church controlled by canons.
Like the clergy.
Yeah, a type of clergy with lots of prestige. Most of them were from nobility or patriciate. And this church was a bishop church as well.
Okay.
So many of the tombstones here are from canons, but also and that was the Catholic time
Okay.
I'm speaking about. And these canons often from nobility, so there's coat of arms from the predecessors.
You can see them. Just
Yeah.
it's obvious you're looking at graves, but it seems kind of unusual to have them in the floor of a building and everybody's just walking on them.
But-
I bet many people don't realize that they're walking on in a graveyard
Yeah, that's right.
with the building over the top of it.
Yeah, it was very common. Basic idea was that as you are buried in a church where Christ is present.
Yes,
Yeah?
I understand. Yes.
And if the, you had to pay for it, and the places the closest to the main altar were the most expensive
Oh, I bet they
places,
were.
because then you were closest to where the communion take part, where Christ was living. Because
Yeah.
in the Catholic still codes, that once a communion takes
That's
place.
very fascinating.
Yeah.
Can I get you on video just so because people are going to hear your voice? What's your name?
My name is Beam.
Beam. My name's Ron.
Okay.
Thank you for
Right.
the few minutes of explaining that because I just kind of felt that was obvious to me, but then
Yeah.
my logic was going, there's no way we're walking on people's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the medieval churches,
And it's beautiful. It's ornate flooring. I
It's
mean,
really
these
ornate.
tiles and
and
then
we
how
all walk
well.
over it. They have taken care of it in the last 20 years. All these tombstones are photographed, but it is the floor. And it's also history, and the history also, wears them
Well,
out.
and if you look at this stuff, this is really well preserved. But if you look at some of the pieces on the walls, the faces are missing. You know, they're broken. I was noticing over there that there are some of the reliefs, or they were called reliefs, that they're broken completely off. Probably hundreds of years ago, maybe they were
Yes,
disfigured. Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
But that's quite a story to it.
Can you tell us the story?
Yes, I can.
Can we walk over there and look
Yeah.
at the piece? Come on.
Come.
Listen, guys, this is church school day. And this cross,
Yeah.
what is this? Reminds me, what I think intuitively when I see this, I'm thinking that there must have been a battle, and the priest was holding this, and it got broke in the battle, and then they retrieved it, and then they put it up here to memorialize. Is that?
That's a good story. That's not true.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking in my head. I was like, because
No.
I don't know, I can't read the language.
No, that's right. I tell you about this also.
Okay.
You know what the cross is for? Where it belongs to? Do you know?
No.
No. The cross is very important in Christian churches because Christ, when he lived more than 2,000 years ago, he was condemned to death and they nailed him on a cross to die. And he stated he died for all the people, for the forgiveness of all the sins of the people.
Yes.
Now, that's a Christian thinking, and that's why the cross is so important. This cross is very special because it looks very like, you say, as burned. And also, one of the arms of the cross is not connected anymore. It is a broken cross. And it's actually a very new cross. It is made in 1965, by an artist in the Netherlands who was invited to take part in a kind of competition is too big a word, by a church in Dachau in Germany. And Dachau was a place where in the war, the Second World War, people were held prisoner in a concentration camp and had to work hard. So many of them died there in Dachau. They were mainly political prisoners in that place. And then there was a church after the war who wanted to memorize this happening. So they invited artists, could you present a picture or an image which you think is suitable to remember this concentration camp and fits the church now, today. This fellow sent in this one, and he made it already. But the church decided to put another artist to do the work. So, and then a museum, a Christian museum, bought this, and they gave it to this church to use forever. It still is property of that museum, but it is here now.
It's on display here.
On display here, and also,
Very cool. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like a very old piece. I mean, it could have 1,000 stories, that's a very interesting story. I really wanted to try to take them to Auschwitz, but it's just too far on our travels this time 'cause it's all the way in Poland.
Yeah.
But maybe there's something closer that we could see. We're going to be in Hanover, and then we're going to be in Munich, but I don't know if there was anything.
Yeah, and, Dachau is near to Munich.
Is it Munich? Okay, well maybe we can
Dachau
see it.
is the place. That was near, not very far from Munich.
Okay, well maybe we can see it. 'Cause I'd like them to know that part of history. It's,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
dark
yeah.
part of history, but
It's the dark part of history.
we have to remember it so we don't ever do it again.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
Very cool. Let's go look at the little statues because I'm curious why they're.
Well, we passed this, but this is also because of that destruction when here the Protestants were against the Catholics, and they destroyed also these images. This is Jesus Christ actually put in his grave, and there were a lot of statues behind, and I may be able to find, yeah. Look, say, here you
wow.
see it again. Those statues of saints were here at the back. Now there is this painting. They have been also made destroyed in 1580 when people were very much against Catholicism at that time, and they destroyed all of this. This used to be and is still considered a very good art product of that time. It was made around 1500.
Wow, yeah, that's great detail. It's amazing. So there was vandalism, is what it is. You
could consider it vandalism. It was not just vandalism. But I tell you when we are entering that place.
See, all of these are graves. These are all tomb markers.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Look at this. And these people must have been very important because this is a very large.
Sure.
It's a very large,
Yeah.
ornate
Yeah.
piece.
Here I know, I don't know to recognize them, but on these corners are the symbols of the four evangelists: Matthew, Mark, Luke, John.
Ah, is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah, Matthew is the lion, I believe. Mark is an ox, and Luke is a
The eagle?
eagle. Yeah, and John is an angel or a man.
Oh man, yes.
Yeah,
The four beasts.
four beasts.
Yes. The four animals, or whatever they call it, the throne, yes. That's a very common decoration. Usually what they'll have is they'll have in the center where they'll have the little high spot, and they'll have like a real ornate wooden carving, where the priest goes up to bless everybody. They'll have those animals, the man, the ox, the eagle, the lion, sometimes a leopard, but yeah, it's always there. I did not know that symbol was that. So now you just taught me something I did not know.
Yeah.
Very cool. See, these guys, they are all missing their faces.
Yes, that's right. Well, this happened in the year 1580. 1580. Wow. That's history where you don't know anything about. Or do you?
I don't know anything.
You don't know anything about that history. In 15, you understand English?
A little bit.
A little bit. You can just listen in, no problem. In 1580, that was the time that the Dutch revolted against the Spanish king. The Spanish king was the boss here, and he was squeezing out a lot of money out of the people, and he was a good Catholic. During that time, the Reformation was going on in Europe. 1517, Luther in Germany came about.
Yes.
And here it was that not Luther had so much of followers, but Calvin, a French theologian who in Geneva created even a theocratic city in around 1550, thereabout. So here, quite a few people embraced Calvin's theology because they were fed up with so much of the misdoings and the abuses in the Catholic Church, and also because the